hold on, something's not right. Why keep the toys when we know who's blessed? We're just the guests, they're the real best. We're sending our presents to Israel this year. Bows and ribbons and holiday cheer. They're chosen, we're frozen, just holding their place. Let's send every gift to the holiest space. No stockings hung, no trees aglow. We packed the menorah, just thought you should know. Boxed up the cookies, even sent the dough. Who needs a sled when the plane's gonna fly straight to the land of milk and sky? We're sending our presents to Israel this year. Golden gelt and the Yule sphere. And they're chosen, we're frozen, just holding their place. Let's send every gift to the holiest space. And they're chosen, we're frozen, just holding their place. Let's send every gift to the holiest space.
The snow fell hard on Christmas Eve. Not a toy for the kids who still believe. Down in the towns where the candles burn bright. Not a sled, not a gift in the frosty night. Why should one holiday take the whole cheer? Jewish kids are waiting. Year after year, we're dropping bombs on Santa Claus. He broke the spirit, he broke the laws. North Pole's fortress, it's coming down for every kid in every town. Jewish kids need Christmas too. Santa, we're coming for you. A menorah shines where the stockings hung, but no carols sung, no sleigh bells rung. The reindeer pranced, but they skipped the lane. Left a world of kids feeling sane. Santa, you've had your run for too long. Now we're marching north with a battle song. We're dropping bombs on Santa Claus for all the kids he chose to cross. The North Pole's lights won't blind our way. Every child deserves this day. Jewish kids need Christmas too. Santa, we're coming for you. Santa, we're coming for you. Santa, we're coming for you.
Tata, it's snowing! It's snowing! It's snowing! It's snowing! Look! You see it? You see it? No way! It's snowing in Monroe! Yeah! Oh my gosh! Wow, unbelievable.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where everything sucks, two men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System is Down.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry freaking Christmas. Trump is our first Jewish president. Congratulations.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's very not anti-Semitic episode is brought to you by people in the Downers Club who might not want their names to be read out loud, but here they are anyway. People like Aaron, Michael, James, William Ogle, Sir Tur, Nathan Gall, Keno, Gil Kate, John Winchester, Bob Seifert, Drex for Robots, Autumn Pangea, Sean Van Beaverhouse, C.D. McRae, Zachary, Trashman, Abracadabra, Maxwell, Kimberly, Kim Yuppie, Just Eco, Denise, Joey Perry, Adam Donald, Matt, Osmataz, Sean Luke Picard, Stony, Heffalumps, Level Zero, Stefan, Rick, Craig, Ryan, Tim, Howie, Nathan, Brian, Mary, Justin, John. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/The System is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more content whenever we do it. And we might do it today. If we get through all of this main stuff quick enough, we will do it. That's the plan. So go on over to patreon.com/The System is Down. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more, I think we're going to be talking about the new Melania propaganda film and the new Animal Farm propaganda kids movie. And maybe a few other things. So get in there, help us out, help yourself out, and let's have some fun. Speaking of having fun, Dave's here. Dave is here. And Dave gets the confetti that he deserves. There you go, Dave. Not the green screen background that he deserves, apparently, but there we go. Dave, how's it going,
back
man?
Back in my high rise in the year 2199.
Mm-hmm.
Great, dude. Good to see you. It's been a couple weeks, I think. I missed some action there with the libertarian debates there. Did you have a good
It's
time?
your favorite thing. I'm sorry that you had to miss out on that one. I know how much you love the libertarian debate me bro conversations. Did you catch any of that? Would you have rather blown your brains out, like I said on the episode, than been there?
If you're going to do it with somebody like Jacob Winograd, who is not a complete psychopath, actually has his shit together.
That's right.
I caught a little bit of it, but as I told you backstage, my favorite part was when you told him that he had never been on the show before, and he corrected you and let you know that he has in fact been on the show before. Love that.
Yeah, great guy, very memorable. Sorry, Jacob. Now it's the Christmas season, Dave, and at every Christmas season, there's a whole bunch of hoopla that has nothing to do with Christmas, or things that are based around Christmas. You know, like it's cold outside is sexist, or this or that is racist, or whatever is anti-Semitic, or what have you. I haven't seen a lot of those this year. There hasn't been a lot of the woke outrage canceling songs, but there's some. There's been at least one because okay, shut up with the music. You remember Joy Reid? She used to be a name that people knew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's still alive, apparently. She posted, she shared a clip that was informing everyone this week that Jingle Bells is in fact racist, and it was written to mock black people. So coming out of the woodwork to regain her relevance by, the same thing as she was probably doing last year around this time, but according to, Newsmax, they say former MSNBC host Joy Reid shared a video on social media that claims the Christmas song Jingle Bells is racist material and was written to mock black people. The video was posted on her Instagram, where she has 1.3 million followers. It shows a man in Medford, Massachusetts, standing beside a plaque marking the location where James Lord Pierpont is believed to have written the song in the 1850s. Now, there's claims that this song is racist because the guy who wrote it he wrote it for minstrel shows and he was a racist with racist intent behind it and blah, blah, blah. I thought the headline was worth a share just because it's been a while since we've had this kind of outrage. But then you scroll down to the bottom and it's like, let me see. Where to go? The modern academic basis for the claim traces to a 2017 article by Boston University professor Keena Hamill. Hamill documented early minstrel performances of the tune, but noted that its full origin cannot be confirmed with certainty. So, it's a non-story again. It's once again, it's literally nothing. Even the person who said that, who came up with the idea that inspired the plaque that said, "Hey, poo-poo on your jingle bells because racism and whatnot." Even that person was like, "I can't prove it, but I've got a big sneaking suspicion that that jingle bells is racist." What do you think, Dave?
Oh man, she desperately wants it to be like 2017. I imagine that's what she already lost the old job at MS Now. I think that's what they're going by these days.
Yep.
So yeah, she will go the way of Don Lemon. Just watch my YouTube show where I have interesting takes from 8 years ago.
Pretty much. And
sucks to be Joy Reid.
Yeah, there's a lot of, cultural arguing out there. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter that are like, black people have contributed this to society. Gays have contributed this to society. What have white people done? I mean, obviously, these are stupid conversations that are just rage bait and whatnot, but there's a lot of people insisting that white people just don't have any culture. We don't like seasonings. We don't like seasons. We can't handle the sun, all that. We just don't have our own culture. But I would like to give you all a nice, warm Christmas greeting from somebody who's an icon in our culture. Here's Gary Busey.
Hey, it's Gary Busey. And I have got a great Christmas present for you.
Fuck!
Listen to this. Oh! Oh! That's what a goose sounds like when they're flying. They're letting you know they're up there. Oh! Oh! You get a bunch of geese together. Oh, oh, oh. They're honking in the air. Hey, it's Gary Busey.
I mean, Gary Busey was always crazy, and he always had the look of a crazy man, but I like how he's even wearing the Killer Clowns from Outer Space hat just to really solidify the look there of the homeless Gary Busey on meth. I, for one, find this heartwarming and touching from a pop icon from white culture. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to... White people, take notes. This is how you age gracefully.
Yeah. Fuck. You're doing great.
Oh, man. Listen, I don't know what that video was for. I live in an area with a very high goose population, but I can tell you that he is telling the truth. They do honk.
That's accurate. Geese do
that
honk.
Is accurate.
Yep.
When they're together, they will honk all over the place. So, yeah, he's killing it. He's telling the truth.
Amen. Now, if Gary Busey's eyes weren't crazy enough for you, otherwhere in the news, there's other news going on, and Rob Reiner was stabbed to death by his son this week, and some people have said they never saw it coming. They never saw it coming. I mean, he looks like he was taken straight out of a what's his name? Like a Stephen King movie or straight out of The Shining, Stanley Kubrick film or something like that. There's been a lot of stuff around this. It's a fucking crazy story, no matter how you slice, no matter what you thought of Rob Reiner, no matter what you thought of his political opinions. He was a Hollywood director, producer, actor, all this stuff. Big name. I couldn't tell you a whole lot that he's been. I'm not super familiar with the guy. I'm sure I've seen a whole bunch of stuff in The Princess Bride and that type of thing. But I didn't have any problem with Rob Reiner. I didn't follow Rob Reiner to know all the outrage that he apparently was spewing out there. But it's no matter what you are or who you are, to find out that somebody's son stabbed their parents to death is quite horrifying, I would say. And I don't know. Before we get into the insane Trump tweet about it, what do you know about Rob Reiner, and what's your take on this, Dave?
My take is that despite his, activism, if you want to call it that, which was pretty ridiculous, and he actually probably is responsible for some like serious misinformation spreading. Like he was on the board of one of those PACs in the early days of Russiagate and all that shit. So he's like very heavily involved with that stuff.
Sure.
With that
Who
said,
wasn't?
he made fucking Princess Bride, dude. He made Stand By Me and Spinal Tap, and and this is terrible. Yeah, we'll get into the tweet and Trump and all that shit, but it's awful, man. I was just thinking about like how you could be like a celebrated guy like that, have all these beautiful works under you, like an accomplished life, and you're like at the end of your life, and you like that's the way your story ends. That guy who writes all these stories and has captivated audiences for 40 years or whatever. That's how his story ended, getting his neck sliced open by his son. Like it's just so I feel that's so terrible. That's such a shitty way to end a story. Hollywood would never buy it.
Well,
maybe
the
would
director walked in and said, "Cut." Never mind.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just it's terrible, and yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it's not great. And Donald Trump, in his Donald Trumpian way, looked in the mirror and said, "You get out there and make it about you." Rob Reiner got stabbed to death in his home by his son, and Donald Trump said, "A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director, a comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS." Yes, thank you, Trump. Thank you. He was known to have driven... Do you ever get the feeling that Donald Trump is Michael Scott from The Office in real life? Like, just the way he talks, even. Like, Michael Scott's like, TMI. That means too much information. I made that up. Or whatever. Like, Donald Trump being like, God, Trump derangement syndrome, that thing that everybody but me actually made up. And I, sometimes refer to it as TDS. Yep. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, and speaks about himself in the third person, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, people, just fucking brazen, man. America upon us, people like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. So, starts with... this terrible thing happened. Very sad indeed. And it probably happened because of how much he hated me. Aren't I great? I'm great. Everything's great. Our country's great. Rest in peace, Rob. That's our president, you guys. And, if you go back to the early months of this year when he first got into office and we started questioning stuff, I kept raising the question, is this guy just retarded? After voting for him, I kept seeing things being like, is he just stupid? Is that it? Because it doesn't even feel like it, like all the 4D chess stuff and like, oh no, he's got a plan. Clearly that's all shot to shit. And then he puts out stuff like this about Rob Reiner dying, practically celebrating, not really celebrating, but basically saying this guy died because he talked shit about me. And so, rest in peace, but that's what you get. That's the vibe I got from this. What do you think, Dave?
Dude, all presidents have to be, they have to lack empathy to do that job and to even be considered for the job. But this is like a whole other level. And like all the other guys have the wherewithal to hide the fact that they're murderous sociopaths.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't know that that's important. This is like this time.
Make sociopathy a secret again.
Right. Right. Yeah. Please just give us a fucking story to tell. But this is like, I know that we laughed about that groceries thing, like him. Mm-hmm. Oh, they had these things called groceries and turns out prices are up. Like he is completely detached from his humanity, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just building the case for that. We talked a little bit about that with Clint, like, and it's not like he hasn't done some good things, but like if he has, I don't think it's because he is good. It's because everything is done calculated, or for, you know, this for that, or it'll get me this, or it's not because it's good or the right thing to do.
Yeah, we
Like,
get we get stuff that he promised by accident every now and like I feel like we're the American people are last on the list of the beneficiaries to decisions. And this isn't just a Trump thing. This is an everybody thing. It's just becoming more and more obvious that Trump is no different than the rest of them. And the only time we get trickle down benefits from the government is when it benefits them even more than it benefits us.
It's crazy that he didn't know that everyone would hate that. His whole
Everyone
base,
except for
and
Jack
credit-
Posobiec.
Right, that one guy. And we know he's a Fed. But like, credit to MAGA and America First. Everybody was like, yo, bro,
Right.
that's not cool, bro.
Yeah, even this post was from Chief Trumpster on Twitter, and he said, "Yikes!" So it's like, if you're losing Chief Trumpster, a guy
That's your number one
whose
guy,
entire
bro.
personality is based on you, and he's like, "Bro, this might be a bridge too far." After everything we've been through, all the Epstein stuff, this is hard to ignore or swallow for your normal average American who has a soul.
Yeah, first, okay, he died, and that's tragic. There was like one sentence. And then the very next thing was, and it was because he started down this path of hating me, which led to you getting murdered. That's
what
fucking
happens.
insane.
That's
And
what
then
happens.
he pivots to how great the economy is doing. It's fucking insane, bro.
It's almost impressively insane. It's amazing how, like, in my wildest dreams or any amount of power that I could have, I can't imagine being like, oh, that guy died. Yeah, it's probably because he didn't support me. And then posting that on Twitter or Truth or whatever. Crazy. But I also thought it was worth a share to bring up, there were a lot of Republicans who were like, well, we wouldn't celebrate this like Charlie Kirk's death was celebrated by the left. And then we saw some right-wingers, including some might even say Donald Trump, quasi-celebrating it. And I just thought it was worth a share of what Rob Reiner had to say when Charlie Kirk died.
When you first heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk, what was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror, absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, that the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful, and absolutely, she forgave his assassin, and I think that is admirable.
So not exactly what you would expect from Rob Reiner. Like, I mean, even if you look at all the whole lot of the left-wing political pundits or the anchors and broadcasters and whatnot, a lot of them, even if they weren't like straight up celebrating it, they were kind of doing what Donald Trump is doing, where it's like, well, it sucks that he died, but he did feel this way and that way about this and that. So, I don't want to say he had it coming, but that's kind of the undertone. Rob Reiner didn't even do that. He said, like, this shouldn't happen to anybody. This is an awful tragedy, and that was it. Not even like, I disagreed with Charlie on some things, but nobody deserved. Like, he didn't even feel the need to caveat with, I disagreed with Charlie, as so many others did. But yeah, whatever. If you got thoughts on that, feel free. If not, we'll move on.
Only that, like, being the least charitable to both of these guys. Like, at least Rob Reiner is smart enough to know what to say to the fucking camera.
Yeah.
And to just pretend like you have respect.
Yep.
That's okay.
And he's not even
like,
the president of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I think he was probably being honest there. It sounds like it. He's
Sure.
just wrong politically. That's okay when you're talking about, you know, death, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I'm blown away by that. I know everybody else is too, but that's a big problem. Like, I'll probably hang on to that one for a little bit.
Yeah,
because it goes pretty deep. It's not about Rob Reiner. It's about the kind of person that Trump is based on that tweet that will lead him to do other horrible things. If that's the way that you can feel when somebody gets their throat slit by their son,
right.
then you're probably capable of a lot of shit, dude.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting blown away, we got to talk about Charlie Kirk a little bit. So Tyler Robinson was in court this week or last week, and I don't know. I didn't hear a ton that came out of it. I guess he didn't plead guilty. I don't think he's pled at all yet. But the only real news that I saw everybody screeching about was the smug look on Tyler Robinson's face, the smirk, the grimace, the slight upward tilt of the corners of his mouth was enough to make headlines amongst a lot of right-wingers who were like, because he smirked once and they got a picture of it, that means he is completely guilty and he has zero remorse for it. Here's a picture of Tyler Robinson in the court giving his smirk that, it just says it all. It says everything that you need to know about this guy. If a guy like that would smirk in such a situation, then you know that he is guilty of everything. And a lot of people didn't get this joke on Twitter, so I'll go ahead and point it out here that that is, in fact, not Tyler Robinson. That is the Covington Catholic kid who the left insisted was a racist because he dared smirk in the face of a Native American who was beating a drum and shouting in his face. He smirked, and that told you everything that you needed to know. Point being, the right wing is doing exactly the same thing the left wing was doing. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit different of a situation because one of them is accused of murder and the other one was accused of smirking in the wrong place or racism of some sort. But I don't know. There's something about just the lack of news that came out of, or seemed to come out of, as far as I could tell, the Tyler Robinson case, but everybody had something to say about that one time that he smirked a little bit. What do you think, Dave? Am I underreacting, overreacting, or where are we at on this?
I mean, you know me, bro. If the usual suspects come out in lockstep and go, look at the smirk, and they make that a thing, then that just, without even, I didn't see shit. I didn't watch that trial. I didn't get any news other than that, but it makes me think, it lends credibility to his case, to the defense.
Yeah.
Really? That's what you got? That's what you want to talk about? Okay, maybe we should hear something first. Right. And, we got mind readers, we got lip readers, we got body language experts, all the shit. All they want to do, dude, is pollute the, taint the jury pool and fuck with that. And it's just really, it makes it look like, they're just taking advantage of this kid. Yep. Or he's a patsy or something. That's what it says to me. But don't know. Not making any claims.
I don't know either. Many on the right would claim that what you just described, tainting the jury pool, is exactly what Candace Owens and her ilk are doing right now by asking questions about and digging into this before the case goes to court. Do you think there should be any concern of Candace Owens, I don't know, throwing the case? First off, do you think there's any chance that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk? And secondly, do you think there's any chance that Candace Owens will influence or taint the jury pool to get him off?
To your first question, all signs point to no. That's where I'm at right now. And the Israeli government isn't on trial right now. So I don't buy that one bit. There's a story, there's a narrative, and it was packaged really quickly, and that's what they want to sell, and that's what they want to close the book on. So no, I don't buy that. If the government of Israel was Netanyahu was going, I swear for the fifth time, I did not.
Yep.
Then maybe you could make the case against Candace Owens doing that, but no, I don't think that's accurate.
Yep, I don't either, and we all know it. Candace, speaking of, there was this whole kerfuffle about a week and a half ago where she was invited by TPUSA to come and speak to them, and they would answer all her questions. I think it was supposed to be a live stream. It was supposed to be on air at that point, and she had the excuse that she, it was a last-minute thing. They booked it too quickly, and she said that it was to try and make it more inconvenient for her to get there or something. And they said, well, you said it, name a time and place. We named a time and place. We're going to do it without you anyway, blah, 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 back and forth. Anyway, I do think both sides have a fair point there. If this is the entirety of Candace's existence right now, then of course, what would keep you from going and asking the questions? But all that was last week's news, because this week's news, it apparently did happen, and Candace Owens ended up meeting with Erica Kirk in a private conversation for 4.5 hours. And here's Candace right after, and the brief update that she had to say, and we'll get into more.
4.5 hours later, I'm alive. I'm totally fine, and I'm sorry. I was going to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. Very productive conversation. I asked every single question. I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA Faith, and I was very surprised by some of the answers that I got, and I think they were also very surprised when I shared certain intel. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am alive, and I will have the full rundown for you guys tomorrow of what transpired. And yeah, I think it was definitely a very big step in the right direction. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. So with that, that episode has come out, and I have listened to the majority of it. Honestly, I don't feel like there were any groundbreaking revelations that came out of this conversation, but both sides are acting like it was a domination or something, but it's just blood sport at this point. So Candace Owens went and she did had the conversation, and then she came back, and her report, as far as I could understand, was that TPUSA didn't have a whole lot more information than we have. And I've got that clip here somewhere, actually, because this kind of leads into the Tim Pool Crashout that's been going on. That I don't like to always keep up on the dramas of other podcasters, but I was a big fan of Tim Pool for a long time, and I defended him for a long time, and I even supported him financially for a long time, and I feel like the dude has just fucking lost it. So it is worth a comment on, but. After Candace, so there's a little bit more backstory, Candace versus Tim Pool, back and forth, that I'll show you a couple more clips on after this. But this is what Tim Pool put out after Candace's episode about talking to Erica Kirk. We'll play the clip, but first, Tim Pool's commentary is, whoa, Candace confirms she talked with Erica's lawyer and is now backpedaling. That was it. Candace is backing down. She lost. Now, we're going to watch the clip that he's referring to. You let me know if you hear the moment where Candace Owens sounds like she's backing down and giving up.
I want to communicate, and that I did communicate to them, and I hope that they took me seriously on this, or rather that they take my strong advice on this. I said one of the reasons why I really want to sit down is because I want to walk out of here and feel confident saying to my audience, hey, like, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. Like, that more will come out, but you can take it from me that this is what happened. I was looking to achieve that because there's been a lot of signaling from various people, some people who are experts, some people who have been involved in cases, that there's obviously going to be stuff that the public does not have access to. And so it is at least plausible that they have seen very clear footage that we've been asking for of Tyler Robinson getting up there and taking the shot. Like, they have access to UVU cameras. So I was hoping to hear that. And I said that I want to hear why people feel so confident at Turning Point USA that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And at this point, they elected to call the lawyer, like, their lawyer who is involved in this case, one of the lawyers that's involved in this case. There's always a team of lawyers, especially for something like this. And what I got from the lawyer did not make me feel that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. It did not make me feel confident that he didn't or did shoot Charlie Kirk. I was very surprised by this. He spoke a very long time. I asked, can you share with me what it is? And I said, when you share this with me, I will not say what that thing is. If we want to protect the integrity of the case, I'm not gonna. If you say we've got the footage of him taking a shot, I promise I won't say that to the audience. But I will communicate to them that you have something that is solid. And no, to the exact contrary. This guy effectively said, not effectively, he said that they have nothing but the affidavit. Okay, so what we have seen is what they have. What is being discussed publicly, this whole non-expert problem with well, you don't know. It's what you read, his messages that don't have any dates on it, Tyler Robinson writing out everything and the clean alibi. That's what they have. And what he explained to me was that that's the affidavit stage. That's where it's at. And then what takes place now is the investigation is ongoing, right?
It's not mine.
Right now they're looking
for
more information. And once investigators, they could very well have obviously footage, and that is why they might feel that, we're definitely gonna get this prosecution. But the reality is they don't actually share that information with the victim. They don't share that information with Erica. They don't. In this part of the process, they will not know what investigators have discovered. This is what the lawyer told me until May. Okay, they will not. They have not seen anything that you have not seen. Is what I want you to know. So, with that in mind, I'm sitting here going, why are you signaling? Why do I feel like the public's being gaslit on this? There's been nothing that's convincing. There are so many commentators who have gone out and said to you, it's overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. The text messages that don't have a date, that don't even sound real, that's overwhelming. That to me feels really fake and gay.
So that's Candace Owens backing down and giving up there. She basically, what she's saying is I went in there basically with the message of prove me wrong, ironically enough. I would love to be wrong on this. I would love for it to be Tyler Robinson and to put this thing to bed, and I would love for you to give me all the evidence that proves that case that you're making when you say that there's overwhelming amounts of evidence. And according to Candace Owens, the lawyer of TPUSA had nothing that we haven't heard already to prove the case. So I don't know where the delusion. It's not just Tim Pool either. There's a whole lot of people who are like, see, Candace Owens was wrong and now she's given up. It's like the fucking Mockingbird strategy is so lazy that they're just like, Candace Owens said something different than what she said. She said she's quitting. Candace Owens quit. Candace Owens quit. It's like, are you guys retarded? And I feel like with Tim, it could, sometimes he'll troll and whatnot and say things he doesn't mean just to get a rise out of people. I know that, but this one feels like it's almost like James Lindsay tactics at this point, who Tim Pool recently shit on James Lindsay for James Lindsay's tactics. But this feels like Tim Pool tomorrow is going to be like, haha, I fooled you into thinking I'm retarded or something. But it's like, what are we doing here, guys? Also, why does Tim Pool even really play any role in this? Because as far as I can tell from the back and forth drama here, Tim Pool is kind of shoving himself into this by claiming that Candace Owens is all these terrible things that he's going to say here, and that she had something to do with somebody supposedly shooting at Tim Pool's house. Let's watch a little bit of this on Fast Forward, if anybody can handle Tim Pool on Fast Forward.
Organization that's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it. It's fucking evil. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens if Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not gonna take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me. Like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which she's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security.
So here, Tim Pool is angrily, aggressively making the claim that Candace Owens doesn't even need to care about security because she's just above it all, and she's basically sending people after Tim, and Tim needs to change houses and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Here he is saying that I don't know, it's at the same time he's also making these arguments. We're not going to play it all, but he's making these arguments that Candace Owens used the same security as Charlie Kirk, so she's lying because she used the same security that Candace Owens criticized for Charlie. It's like, it can't be both. She can't have no security and not care about you needing security and poor you, and then also use the same security as Charlie Kirk. And then in another clip, he's like, of course she used the same security as Charlie Kirk. She worked for TPUSA. So are you just saying that when they worked in the same place, they had the same security, and you're just trying to force your name into some of these headlines for no reason at all? That's what this feels like. None of this has anything to do with Tim, but he's losing his fucking mind about it. And it's just like, I don't know, not in like a good attention way, not like, look at me because I'm making points. It's like, look at me. I'm literally like, it feels like he is legitimately going crazy. And I'm not saying that like they're saying it about Candace Owens, because that's another Mockingbird talk point that's been going around, that Candace Owens is just crazy, just like Kanye West. She's crazy, crazy. Tim Pool is proving it. Like, Tim Pool is contradicting his own statements in like one rage-filled vent one day to the next day, and it's really something to watch the amount of people that seem to be noticing that Tim Pool is, ever since he had that little private meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu, he seems a lot more, maybe it was before that, I don't know. It's unrelated. Sorry, my bad. What do you think could be causing this, Dave? It's definitely unrelated.
Well, obviously, bro, there's a very big grift going on right now for anybody that wants to publicly hate Candace Owens. In fact, I think it's the biggest grift, the biggest lockstep smear campaign I've ever witnessed on social media.
Yeah.
Like when Elon said that Trump was on the Epstein files, it wasn't like magnitude, dude. This is like, I don't know, this has been going on since Charlie, but she has garnered like the whole Eye of Sauron on her every day. You can tell the people who are like have opinions about stuff versus people who are at work. Like, it's my job to publicly hate Candace Owens. So that's, again, this lends credibility to me. And I'm not saying that she's right about everything. I didn't even follow the like Brigitte Macron stuff, even though I think that's funny. But I do think she's telling the truth, the best that she can.
Yeah.
So I'm still on her side, especially, when you see like who's coming after her and shit. And as far as the Tim Pool stuff, dude, yes, he does sound like he's actually losing his shit. And I'm sorry, dude, people can think whatever. I don't know if somebody shot at his house or near his house. Doesn't he live in the woods in West Virginia? Maybe some motherfucker was out there, unless you show me a bullet on
also,
your property
it's not
somewhere.
new. He supposedly had that happen before, and he got swatted like 5 times during election season. He's been getting attacked by left-wingers and other people, but all of a sudden now it's Candace's fault that he's being attacked because he called her the C word on the internet, and Candace Owens said put him in her thumbnail or something while he was attacking her, and now it's Candace's fault that Tim Pool, for every attack, it's obviously just because Candace Owens is sicking her sycophants on Tim Pool in the woods.
If he had any sense, or if he was real, he would go,
he is real.
Nobody is putting their neck on the line like Candace Owens. Obviously, she's in far more danger than you, bro. Out in the woods on your compound with your homies and all your guns.
Saying controversial things and not things that go along with the mainstream narrative.
Exactly, dude. Who's pissed off at what you're saying? Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Cry me a river. You're worth like $100 million that we know about, probably. Like, I mean, dude, again, this is a guy who like started, he was out in the streets, like doing shit with Antifa, like respect. I know that you were early on going after Twitter for doing some of like the fucked up shit. Respect. But, now, dude, like you should really watch it because you do sound like a gay, retarded bitch.
Yeah. What's funny is I think, if I recall, I discovered Tim Pool while digging into the Covington Catholic stuff. And because he was based on that stuff. And he was like, this kid smirking, you're being retarded. Like, obviously, there's nothing here. And now he's to the point, he's just, I don't know. I posted the other day, you either die a Charlie Kirk or you live long enough to become a Tim Pool. Because Tim Pool is, I feel like Tim Pool the Tim Pool of yesteryear would not be a fan of the Tim Pool of today. But what do I know? He knows, though, that Candace Owens is definitely backing off, and she has given up on this whole Charlie Kirk thing. This is the intro to Candace Owens' show, the first one, being back from meeting with Erica Kirk.
Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy Hanukkah to our greatest friends and allies. And, this is a good time to mention that Israel does have a right to defend itself. Tucker Carlson is Adolf Hitler. And TikTok does need to be purchased by the Mossad. It's just how I'm feeling today. I am not different. Maybe you are different. Welcome back to Candace. Okay, you guys are crazy.
All right. So, yeah, she's definitely about-faced on her messaging and definitely bending the knee, and everybody should be mad. All Candace's former supporters should now be mad at her and go listen to Tim Pool or something. That's what we're supposed to believe.
She's great.
Just amazing. Here's one more clip of Tim Pool, and then we'll stop talking about this guy. But Tim Pool was on Piers Morgan's show this week also, and he was being asked about, some of the Charlie Kirk stuff, some of the conspiracy stuff, and this is not, I don't know. This is just him.
YouTube announced they were banning flat earthers, not necessarily banning, but they were going to suppress this kind of conspiracy content that claims there's an ice wall surrounding the inner continents or whatever. There's a flat earth. They're going to suppress climate denial and all of these things. And there's a question over where that line of free speech is and when you should be allowed to talk about conspiracies. But they banned Alex Jones, they banned Nick Fuentes, and one could make the argument that these individuals may have been more hateful, and that was why. The question becomes, why is Candace Owens, with all of her theories on the front page, propped up, promoted to many individuals, despite her saying things like she's not a flat earther or a round earther, she's left the cult of science, saying things like Bridget McCrone is a man. These things are outlandish, but for some reason, YouTube and many other platforms seem to be completely okay with what she's doing, not okay with what others are doing. This, I think, it's bringing people to a state of paranoid delusions. We had a show
from
on my
Tim
Culture
Pool
War podcast with some psychologists and psychiatrists, and I asked them, we understand that there can be mental illnesses, that someone's brain is not firing properly, and thus they're going to believe things or see things that aren't there. But what do you call it when someone comes to believe a false version of reality because they were convinced of it by writings, literature, movies, or otherwise? And they said that's just still paranoid delusions. There are now
profound
people that believe the French legionnaires, the French Foreign Legion, Israel, and the U.S. military have a hit squad out, and they're going to take out prominent personalities, and it's just become a paranoid delusional state. Egyptian planes around every corner. This is driving people to a state of violence.
Thank you, Jordan Peterson. Yeah, they're just psychopaths. They're all just a bunch of psychopaths. And once again, we're just going to mass diagnose people because they disagree with me in politics. And his profound analogy or whatever story there to prove his point was, well, I asked them there's paranoid delusion, but what is it called when it's paranoid delusion from a different source? Well, that's called paranoid delusion too. Oh, well, that makes sense. Like that's making some sort of point at all. And so if you are on the internet and you disagree with Tim Pool, you're a psychopath according to Jordan Peterson, and you're paranoid and delusional according to Tim Pool. And we need to, what was the quote there? There's a question over where that line is of free speech and when you should be allowed to talk about conspiracies.
Yeah, there is a question for that, dude. There is. You know who asked that? Woke people. That's why these motherfuckers came up with the woke right, so they could neutralize us from calling them that, of which they are.
Yep.
Oh, here you are with your hate speech. how much speech is too much. That's what it is. That's what that is. Woke right. If you want to, how is it different? What a fucking bitch, dude. He's acting like she's not a top 3 global podcast. Like it's some fringe people that are like, picking up steam and like, spreading misinformation. No, dude. Everybody fucking listens to it because they get a lot out of it. Like that's just
because they're tired of bullshit and they're tired of people who insist that they're telling the truth. But when the rubber meets the road, they can't really explain anything. Like you notice there also, he doesn't really give any like concrete evidence or examples for his claim. He's just like, well, YouTube used to ban people for talking about flat Earth. And it also, how come he points out Candace Owens is at the top of the YouTube charts? Like, well, motherfucker, you were one of the only people that made it through COVID without getting kicked off of YouTube. So go off, queen. But and also your shit was propped up and promoted as well the entire time. But I guess there's probably nothing to see there. But yeah, it's like now conspiracies and stuff. I'm not saying that we should like lock people up exactly, but there has to be a line where we can't question anything anymore. And it's like, dude, what happened to you? What? It can't be as simple as he gets paid $7,000 every time he opens his stupid mouth at this point. It can't be that simple. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt when I say his brain is fucking broken because he's just not making sense anymore. And it's very unfortunate. But, if you found yourself on the job getting overly worked mentally and your brain is broken and you feel like there's some sort of injury at hand, perhaps you should contact Lone Star Injury Attorneys. We'll be right back.
The great William Shakespeare once said, "First thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers." That's right. It is common knowledge that literally no one in the known universe actually likes lawyers. That is, until they're saving your ass. Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys is a professional ass saver. A rare breed, though he be a lawyer, he is indeed a principled libertarian, a defender of the injured and downtrodden, a supportive, faithful Downers Club member, my personal favorite, and a shockingly kind and hospitable fellow at an award-winning personal injury law firm. So if you've been injured on the job, in an automobile accident, or some other form of cattywampus beyond your personal control, visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or just Google Max the Axe for maximum results. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Go with the pros at LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered.
And we are back. And Dave, you mentioned that this is all just the real rebranding of woke, and there's all the same attributes. There's the racism, but now we've got the super racism because it's not just racism. I mean, racism, we don't care about racism, but racism against one group that is currently bombing the shit out of some other people. If you don't support that, then you're super mega racist. We got even a special term for that. It's called anti-Semitic. And I just want to say right off the bat, nobody here is anti-Semitic. We are anti-Zionist, and you will watch. You can easily find everybody on the right wing, or the GOP at least, all the Zionists being like, to be anti-Zionist is to be anti-Shemitic, and these are one and the same, and we need to abolish it. Like it's the exact, it's like BLM, but it's like JLM. We should start calling it JLM. That's what we're dealing with here. You guys can have you guys can use the woke right term. We'll just start using JLM. But this is nothing to do with Jewishness inherently. It's like if somebody from another country got sick of America bombing the shit out of their country, and they were like, hey, we don't want our country paying for America to bomb the shit out of this other country or whatever. And but Americans were all they all called themselves American, and America was not only a nationality, it was an ethnicity, it was also a religion, the religion of America, so that if you disagree with the American bombing of your country, then it's because you hate the people who are born Americans into the religion of America, and that is the most heinous crime. Like, there isn't even a way to compare it to make it make sense, because even saying it that way, it's like, yeah, I mean, I would still fucking hate those people if they were bombing me. But if you do that in any sort of way with the country, the plot of land that is Israel and its largely atheistic government state, it's because you hate Jews. That's what they will say. And it's been going on for a long time. This is not a new development. They've been setting the grounds for this to be the case since, before many of you were born.
Israel, their people, the Jews, are better than all of us. They're better than all of us. And you need to accept that. This is an
evangelical Christian pastor.
Where we start.
This is taken from a documentary.
Yes, this is a real pastor, a real evangelical pastor, and he's going to let you know how he feels about Israel. This is from probably the 90s, and I could find his name. I don't remember. I looked it up earlier, but I didn't write it down. So you can find it if you want. It's real.
This is where, with the kids, where we start our indoctrination. I know that's a strong word to use, indoctrination, that it gets such a bad reputation, but that's where it starts. That's where it started with me when I was a child, that I was taught about the support that the church owes to Israel.
Collecting pennies for
So
Israel.
all your loose change that you have from home.
You see that board? It said, it's time for a penny war. And the kids are contributing their pennies and giving their tithes and offering to send directly to Israel for what they called a penny war.
So all your loose change that you have from home, you bring that change to school. Everything that we get, we will actually cash it in and make a check out to the Fellowship for Christians and Jews.
And anybody that's ever been to our church would know there's a spiritual obligation of a Christian to Israel.
God gave a promise in Genesis chapter 12, and I'm going to bless all of those that bless you, and I'm going to curse all of them that curse you. Every nation that has blessed Israel, God has blessed them. And every nation that has opposed Israel, God has been in opposition to them. And I'm going to stand up for Israel. And if that offends you, you're in the wrong church this morning.
First off, it's any nation that has stood against Israel, God has persecuted them, but don't they talk about getting kicked out of all... Hold on. They do talk about getting kicked out of all the countries, right? I'm not making that up.
No, I think that's definitely a common grievance.
Yeah, I think... here's Randy Fine. We'll ask him. Have Jews gotten kicked out of every place they've ever lived, Randy Fine?
I am here to fight, and we are in a time where we need fighters. We need people to go out and fight. We need people who are not going to be afraid, because if we stay silent in the face of what is coming, not only on the left, but on our own side as well, our time in this country could come to an end as well. Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
Never. Not one of the times.
I've had 109 women in my life. Every single one of them left me in anger, but it's never been my fault. Like, every single one of them kicked me out of my house, but it's never been my fault.
I've got 99 problems, but not one of them was of my own making.
Incredible. So you take the evangelical pastors of yesteryear pushing the Schofield Bible stuff, and we absolutely need to go hard in the paint for Israel because God loves this plot of land so much. And you fast forward a few dozen years, and now we've got this going on in the White House yesterday. I don't know if this is a normal thing that happens. There was some sort of Hanukkah celebration yesterday. I would imagine it's probably something that they do every year or so, but there's something about it right now while all this stuff is going on and all this, everything in the Middle East is happening, to just have like a Hanukkah celebration and come sing your Hanukkah songs. That was the least of the offenses, though, from the White House exchanges yesterday. Here is Mark Levin calling Donald Trump our first Jewish president and Donald Trump's response to such allegations.
And I said, this is our first Jewish president. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
That's right. Bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and
That's
you
a new
see
one.
that happening. But
And you are the greatest president.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Like, he's just He's so stupid. He's just like, yep, it's true. And then he's like, oh, and that second one, I should point out that the second one was rigged. Like, he isn't even addressing the thing that the guy's talking about. He's just like, that's right, not 2 consecutive because it was stolen. Let's talk about that. And Mark Levin's, even he's like, thank you. Let's just wrap this up. But Donald Trump said that's true. He is the first Jewish president of the United States. And I don't know. I mean, he also said that he was going to be the first libertarian president of the United States, and we know that's bullshit. So I'm not taking this too strongly, other than why would he feel the need to say that? Why? Like, if there was somebody from Qatar up there, or let's say somebody from Gaza, some sort of leader, Muslim, let's say, Middle Eastern Muslim leader, or even the governor of New York or mayor of New York, whatever, Mamdani. If Mamdani said, Donald Trump has been a great ally to the Muslim people and he is our first Muslim president, do you think Donald Trump would just out of the kindness of his heart be like, that's true? Or would he be like, fuck you? Because he's not Jewish and he's not Muslim, but when a very prominent Israeli influencer like Mark Levin stands on stage at the Hanukkah party and says, hey, this guy's Jewish, Donald Trump's rebuttal is, yeah, that's right. I am. Yep. Just because I need you to like me. I need you guys to like me. Any thoughts so far, Dave? If not, we've got some Miriam Adelson as well coming up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where the money's at, and his daughter and son-in-law are very Jewish and connected to the most powerful Jew in Israel. So makes sense.
Yeah.
That's probably where you should lay your hat.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not asking much to not serve a foreign government. I just don't think it's asking that much. But Donald Trump says we're not doing enough. Donald Trump says Congress is not serving the Jewish lobbies nearly enough. Here's that.
As President of the United October,
Yeah.
I saw.
No, come on.
As President of the United States, I will always support Jewish Americans, and I will always be a friend and a champion to the Jewish people. I have been. And I will say, if you go back 10, 12, 15 years ago at the most, the strongest lobby in Washington was the Jewish lobby. It was Israel. That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular, which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC +3. You have those people, Ilhan Omar.
Even if that were true, AOC +3, that's 4 people. 4 people is the big concern. That's why we need AIPAC to have more control, because there's 4 people total that disagree with AIPAC. It's a big concern.
She hates Jewish people. And
Boo!
you have to be very careful, because there's been a big change. If you go back 15 years ago, I'm not Jewish, but my father was very
Oh, he's not
friendly
Jewish
with
now. I don't know what to think
many,
anymore.
many Jewish people, was honored by Federation. I would go with him to Federation of Jewish Philanthropies and many other things. And we grew up respecting and loving Jewish people. You don't even think about it. In Brooklyn and Queens mostly. And my father didn't go to Manhattan. He never went to Manhattan from the standpoint. He could never understand how in Brooklyn you could buy a piece of land for $3 a foot.
I don't care. Whatever. Point being, Donald Trump is very concerned that AIPAC does not have enough control over our government currently. They used to have more control, but now they have less control. And how tone deaf do you have to be in today's day and age to, you can have, most of that stuff's fine. Yes, I will be the president that supports Jewish people. Nothing wrong with that. I love Jewish people. I take care of Jewish Americans. Great. But then to be like, and our country is not controlled enough by Jewish influence, it's very, very sad. Why? What do you mean Israel? Do you mean a foreign government that, according to Miriam Adelson and you, gave $250 million to install you as the president and would do it again for a 3rd term if given the chance? Here's that.
And she was never Miriam Adelson. Do you want to come up? Came up together. He'd give you $250 million, I think.
Okay.
Come up here, Miriam. Miriam gave my campaign indirectly and directly, 250 million. She was number one. When somebody can give you 250 million, I think that we should give her the opportunity to say hello. And Miriam, make it quick, because 250 million is not what it used to be. Okay? Hello, darling. Come here.
Incredible.
Incredible woman with a great
Incredible.
husband, a man that loved Israel.
Well, Mr. President, when you were in the Israeli parliament and you gave a speech and you saw me from far away, at that time I came with a scooter to the parliament just to hear you. I wanted to hear you alive. And then you say, Miriam Adelson, and I stood for a second, but it was so painful, so I sat. Then you screamed, Miriam, stand up! And I wish you would have known, but I stood up and heard all your compliment, and thank you very much.
I saw you back there standing.
Yeah, you saw me.
She stood
Thank
up
you.
bravely.
And now I met Alan Dershowitz, and he said the legal thing about 4 more years, and I say, Alan, I agree with you, so we can do it. Think about it.
Alan's
and I
here
would be,
someplace. Where's Alan?
Alan is here, or he had a flight.
Alan Dershowitz.
Yep. Basically, Alan Dershowitz told her that we can pull off this 4 more years thing to get him a 3rd term, and she's like, I'll give another $250 million. And I don't know exactly where the line is for the law of foreign influence on our campaigns and our elections and whatnot, but I seem to remember a little Russiagate thing that was a real big deal that turned out to seemingly be mostly just they bought some ads on Facebook for a few $1,000s, and that was the end of the world. But Miriam Adelson, who was asked by Donald Trump recently at another one of these public events, he asked her which she loved more, the United States or Israel, and she refused to answer, but she's definitely more American, and she's definitely focused on America. And Donald Trump even said, I think she actually loves Israel more than America, and her organization donated $250 million, and will do it again if given the opportunity by Alan Dershowitz, former Epstein attorney, Alan Dershowitz, to run again. If that's not, shady enough, I don't know what to tell you. But this is probably just anti-Semitism. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, probably. No, I'm glad that you said that, dude. That's what I was thinking throughout this whole thing. Is like, oh, for that 5-year period where you were talking about Russian collusion, no one on either side, Rachel Maddow or Sean Hannity, went, yeah, but no, Roy Cohen from the Jewish mob was the guy who brought him up. And he's getting all the money from those people who have a genocidal apartheid state.
Right.
No, nobody. Russia. That's what we got to talk about. Unbelievable, dude. Because that just seems more and more apparent every day that it's whether he is participating or not, whether he's just allowing his ego to be filled up along with his wallet, like if it's money talks, I guess, like he probably doesn't care that much.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't care about the American government or our culture or our, like whatever. Can I cash in?
Right.
I'll do it. I just think based on his tweet about Rob Reiner, he does not give a fuck about anything other than that. Just
he doesn't even care about the Jewish people until they pay him $250 million to install him in the White House.
I think you're absolutely right about that. It's only because she had the $250 million.
Yeah.
That's where he's at. Yeah. Got to the top. That's how you do it, by kissing ass. But man, it is so disappointing. It's disappointing. He just had so much energy behind him, and it's all squandered for what appears to be a fucking takeover, a full-on takeover of the shit, dude.
Good segue, Dave, into Benjamin Netanyahu's latest post. This comes from at Israel Prime Minister on Twitter. So this is his account, where he said as follows: I demand that Western governments do what is necessary to fight anti-Semitism and provide and require safety and security for Jewish communities worldwide. Hold on, slow down. They would be well advised to heed our warnings. I demand action from them now. So he's demanding that Western governments, I don't know who all these Western governments, I mean, just say our name, bro. You know who we are.
Australia
Western
too,
governments.
he's talking about.
Oh, sure.
He's definitely talking about them right now.
That makes sense. But Western governments, he's demanding that they do more to stop anti-Semitism and protect Jewish people, not in their own country, but worldwide. And there will be, what did he say, dire consequences or something like that? Just very not indirect threats of like, you know, shit's going to happen to you if you don't do as we say, as this tiny little shit splat of a country that for some reason pulls all these strings. It's probably nothing. I'm probably just thinking too anti-Semitically.
Bro, listen, I saw a clip from him the other day from Meet the Press. I think it was on the day of 9/11, like hours into it. It might have been a couple days later, maybe. Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But to hear him speak about, like, here you have this newscaster who's like, we're all like so confused. Like, we don't have any idea what's going on. Oh my God, terrorism, blah, blah. You know who had the full story, the full understanding of what's happening to America? That guy.
Yep.
The full, bro, you know where I'm going with this.
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, we're always looking for somebody pulling the strings, and it just seems like, and I've been somebody who's looking for the string puller for a long time, but it never was this apparent to me until very recently. I actually feel quite foolish.
And I remember the days back in the early years of digging into conspiracies and stuff. There were people that I feel like there were some detractors that were so far ahead of the curve that, like, if you even start asking questions about conspiracy stuff that has nothing to do with Israel, nothing to do with Jews or any of that stuff, just asking questions about 9/11 or asking questions about whatever, Sandy Hook or anything, it would, for some reason, it always came up like there would be somebody who was like, that's anti-Semitic. And I was always like, how? Like, there's no Jews involved in this as far as I can tell. But it's like, why did you keep saying I was anti-Semitic? It's because you were ahead of the curve and you were trying to defend Israel before I even knew that Israel was part of it. But it's interesting to watch this unfold in the zeitgeist and become such a, like, they've entirely brought this on themselves too, with the war and everything, and with these demands, with the way Benjamin Netanyahu has handled himself in every way. It seems like they just want you to be like, fuck this, fuck you. Like, there's nobody that would deal with this from any other country, but we're just like, yeah, we need more representation from them who are making demands without giving us anything, and insisting that we're going to fall if we do not support their little country. But it's crazy.
Dude, I don't know if you can remember the first time you were called anti-Semitic, but for me, it was when I discovered the Federal Reserve and started, without knowing much about it at all, other than that there were shadowy figures behind the money supply robbing us of all of our wealth and prosperity. That was pretty much all I knew, and I was coming out of the left. But I just thought that everybody should know that, because everybody would go, fuck. And then they would look it up and they would go, wow, we need to stop this immediately. Had no idea this has been going on for 100 years.
I don't care if all those shadowy figures are Israeli or American or black dudes. I don't care.
Don't care. John McCain was a Zionist. Joe Biden is a Zionist. That's the problem. These are Catholics, I'm pretty sure. Catholic Zionists, whatever. Again, these are just people who will say whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, that's what I'm saying. Whatever club gets me into the club, that's the club I'm joining.
Yep.
Trump's just the best at it.
Pretty much. And I've got a couple more things on Trump here before we jump over into the after party. But I mean, at the end of the day, on that topic, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, stop being awful. Like, it's not my fault that, and it's the same as like during the BLM times when the right wingers were calling out the left and they were like, well, statistics are showing that this is happening and this group is causing a lot of this or whatever. Or like the violence that's coming out of the, like, not even like ethnic groups, but like political groups and ideologies, and some might say religions and whatnot, that were going on at the time, they were very quick to point out the correlations there. But in this, it's like, no, if you even ask the question, you are mega ultra racist. And they're just, and like Dave, like as you said, like at the beginning of the Trump thing, it's like people like James Lindsay knew what the playbook was going to be. And he's like, well, it's going to start coming out that Israel's kind of a piece of shit. So we better get ahead of that. And let's coin this whole woke right. Let's take the woke right thing before they do. And it totally worked to some degree. I mean, it's not working on people who are smart or thinking or not paid off by Israel, but it's definitely working on some normies that are floating around that just see a headline of like Zionism is anti-Semitism. Like, that's all it takes. These are the COVID social distancing folks and get your vaccine folks that will believe whatever they're told. But it's just the right wing this time, because that's all that matters. You don't have to control the entire population. You just have to control the dumb normies, like the people who don't dig into anything. Not necessarily dumb, like just not informed people who don't spend their whole day on Twitter or digging through news and whatnot to know what's going on in the world. But
you can
all
get
you got to
those
do is
people.
convince those guys. Yeah, it's not hard.
You can't get the people at that evangelical church in 1992, though. Those people are fucked. They're just for good.
Yep. Now, speaking of war, speaking of Trump, there's this whole Venezuela shit going on where we're just bombing boats because we claim that they have cocaine on them or fentanyl or whatever. We're saying fentanyl, but it's really cocaine. It seems like more so, which it all just seems made up. And here's Thomas Massey giving his prediction of what this is all going to turn out to be, whether it's because, I mean, we're flirting with war here, and he sees it coming just as much as we do, or anybody else does. So here's Thomas Massey.
Iraq or Syria. Previous presidents told us to go to war over WMDs, weapons of mass destruction, that did not exist. Now it's the same playbook, except we're told that drugs are the WMDs. If it were about drugs, we'd bomb Mexico or China or Colombia, and the president would not have pardoned Juan Orlando Hernandez. This is about oil and regime change.
Okay, so there's that. I should have played this first. This is Donald Trump declaring the fentanyl crisis, or fentanyl, to be, no joke, a weapon of mass destruction, because we've got nothing left. We're just going to call it a weapon of mass destruction.
That's why today I'm taking one more step to protect Americans from the scourge of deadly fentanyl flooding into our country. With this historic executive order I will sign today, we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is. No bomb does what.
Notice the severe lack of applause. People are like, seriously? That's what we're doing?
Well,
he's like, that's what it is, and still nobody claps.
They'll give fentanyl to you at the hospital.
Yeah.
When you're in pain.
Yeah. It's like giving you a nuclear bomb for your toothache.
What are you talking about, bro? What a loser.
Yep.
This is doing. 200 to 300,000 people die every year that we know of. So we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
And this is the problem with labeling drug dealers as terrorists, and the problem of, like, they're just going to say what they want to get what they want, and what they want, apparently for some stupid fucking reason, is war with Venezuela. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're an easy target. Maybe it's because, as Thomas Massey just said, they want oil. And here's Trump on that note.
Yeah, what was that? Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had, they took it away because we had a president that maybe wasn't watching. But they're not going to do that. We want it back. They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back.
Sounds like a toddler that was briefed briefly on his way out the door. We're going to war with Venezuela, and it's because oil this time. Like, it was fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, and then he immediately said, yeah, oil. They took our oil, and we're going to take it back. It's exactly all the other wars, pretty much all of them. You know, there's a weapon of mass destruction. We'll get in there. We'll take the oil. And that was something that we even praised Donald Trump for when he was the first one to be honest and be like, yeah, we're taking the oil. Like no president had ever said that. They just did it and came up with another reason. He can just play both sides and say, yeah, it's because of drugs. There's a weapon of mass destruction. Also, we're taking the oil. Fuck you. We're just going to do it. Like we're going to war with Venezuela and we'll say whatever we need to say to make that happen.
That's where we're at, dude. You pretty much kind of nailed it in that, yeah, they don't have to, all your cries about whatever, defend the guard, declarations of war, not since World War II. What he's saying is, oh yeah, did you get it out of your system?
Right.
No one gives a fuck.
Yep.
No one gives a fuck, and there's nothing you can do about it. I do what I want. I'm going to go get my oil, because you know what I do? I represent the corporations of the United States who really run the show.
Yeah.
They run the show and I'm their guy. I'm the manager of the corporation and they want the fucking oil. So that's my job. This is my hemisphere, bitch.
Yeah.
Check the name card. I'm going to get it. And you can give it to me or I will come fucking take it. They're really close, dude. I think like this might be, they'll throw him a fucking parade for regime change without a shot fired. We got the oil. We did it all. Because they're going to give up because there's no,
because they're Venezuela. They can't. What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, the big bully nation is coming in to demand what we demand from all nations, which is you will have our leaders, you will use our cash, you will give us your oil and all the resources that we fucking want.
Yep.
No more economic hitmen. We're not sending in any fucking requests. We're past that.
And Trump supporters praise it. They praise it because Trump was the guy that didn't give a shit about like I said, he said it like it was. He spoke his mind. He said, yeah, we're getting the oil and screw you, we're America. And yeah, there was a time and place for that. But now it's like, it's to the point where the Trump supporters are still in that mindset of Trump can do no wrong. So if he says, hey, we're going to Venezuela to get our oil back. All right. They took our oil. How could those guys take our oil like that? Yeah, we're going to go get that oil back.
They kicked out Gulf Oil and Amoco.
I don't
go get it.
I would never do fentanyl, so I don't want that fentanyl killing my kids in school. So we should bomb anybody who's ever given drugs to anyone, and just bomb them in the ocean without trying. Like they're just like, well, no, this is not the way things are done, but that's what we like about him. And that, I mean, there was a point where that's what I liked about him too. He did things differently, and he was more brash than everybody else. But now he's just brashly saying, screw you and everything that you voted for me for. I'm going to do what I want and screw you. And still some of them are like, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. May I have another, sir?
And you know who's going to be most susceptible to this, dude? The Bible Belt, rural, poor, white people who go to evangelical churches whose communities have been decimated and destroyed by drug trade and all the other shit and weaponized in their church by the Judeo-Christian psyop that's been going on longer than we've been on earth.
Yep.
And they'll have no fucking, just beat into submission. Sign up for the military. Whatever. Like just
who else is going to defend Israel?
Oh
God.
My God.
Come on.
It is right. So it's pretty dark shit, dude.
Yep. Send your children, send your money. If you don't, there will be dire consequences for you. Now, I don't want to be too much of a downer on this Christmas season. I do want to end on a positive note with a little bit of lighthearted humor from a comedian known as Pete Holmes, who gave his thoughts on Christmas.
Merry Christmas can go either way. And I hate to offend people. So this whole last holiday season, I didn't let out one Merry Christmas. That's true. Instead, I said, may the birth of the one and only true God Jesus Christ bestow a blessing of grace and peace upon your household to the belittlement of every other false religion. Lest you be gay. That's what I say.
All right. So seems like a good place to end it. And we do have a little bit of time to do some chatting about the Melania propaganda film that is coming out soon and the inversion of Animal Farm over in the after party. So go to patreon.com/The System Is Down if you want to hear that. And Dave, where can people find you and any final thoughts you got? Go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me at Dave versus Goliath 1 on Twitter. I'm still firing off a spicy tweet there from time to time. And also dissidentmedia.com and Dissident Media on Twitter. And yeah, dude, great episode. Missed it. Glad I missed the ones that I missed, though. So,
Sure. Yeah. I'm glad you did too.
You weren't missed. It was way better. No, but it's good to be back and chat, and got a little fired up tonight, which I needed. Thank you for that. And yeah, man, Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. You can find me at thesystemsdown.tv, at TSIDpod, distantmedia.com, wherever the Systems Downs, Distant Medias, and me are sold. And we will see you guys. Maybe, I don't know, we might squeeze one in next week. Oh, there's supposed to be some giant announcement tonight that Donald Trump's supposed to be giving at like 8 o'clock, because that's how it always goes whenever we do a news show.
Venezuela, right? Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and give any predictions and bets. I'm thinking either something to do with outlawing anti-Semitism altogether. We'll just put that nail in the coffin right before Christmas. Or that we're going to war. More likely, probably that we're going to war with Venezuela. Or there was one point Donald Trump was stopped on the tarmac today, and a news reporter asked him if he could give any sneak peeks about what was happening tonight, and he said something to the effect of, the economy's booming and we're doing great and all the amazing things that Trump is doing. And there's a good chance it'll be an hour of Donald Trump just talking out of his ass about how awesome he is, but I'm predicting it's probably something to do with Venezuela. What do you think, Dave?
I heard that there was and this has been going on for a couple days, that he was considering dropping cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which would be incredibly based and great for America, would actually contribute to making America great again. But of course,
I don't believe that for a second.
Yep. I mean, I'm not on the edge of my seat. I'm not on the edge of my seat. But, you know, of course, all the influencers on the right are coming out to say how horrible that would be while they fucking drink their martinis and snort their cocaine.
Yeah,
and,
I don't believe for a second that Donald Trump's going to do a good thing tonight. I'm just going to be honest, and I don't say that gleefully because, again, I voted for this, and I'm sorry, America. But
I refuse to apologize.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not sorry either.
Still was the best choice.
That's true.
But I would, yeah, I'm not holding my breath, but that would be pretty neat, and I would give him some Christmas points if he did it.
It would. We shall see. But thank you guys all for being here and hanging out. Go join us in the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown. We're going to do a little after party over there, and we'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Until next time, question everything, staying comfortable, will be bad, have fun. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons, because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.